Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road update. Yes, more on that toll road. And North Bali Airport to be operational in 2027. This is some new information. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is November 17th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? 30.4 degrees Celsius, the humidity 77%, and the wind speed is 12.4 kilometers per hour. And it is a slightly cloudy day, but nice. Got some small waves and ripples in the ocean. Overall, okay, and no rain here in the last couple of days. Okay, let's get started. Complicated land acquisition funds for Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road project. Here is PUPR Minister Dody Hanggodo's answer. The Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road project that will cross three regencies, Tabanan, Badung, and Jembrana, continues to be questioned. The first toll road project in Bali, the continuation of the work process, was conveyed by the Minister of Public Works of the Republic of Indonesia, Pak Dody, during a visit to Bangli Regency. He said the Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road project would continue and could be realized soon because it is the connectivity of North Bali Airport. Keep going, Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road. Our hope is that the airport will be finished and the toll road will be ready. And notice that he said this is going to be the connectivity for the North Bali Airport. Stay tuned for the next segment, which is on the North Bali Airport. And, well, this doesn't make sense compared to that. But let's go on. On the other hand, information was successfully collected from residents in Tabanan who were affected by the construction of the toll road in Bali. It turns out that there is a bright spot, because the Jembrana Regency area in the Pakutaan area is the location where the first land acquisition has been carried out and has to be completed this year. Antasari village head, Inyoman Agus Suryawan, said that the information obtained directly from the Ministry of PUPR is that this year new land acquisition will be carried out. Land was initially purchased in the Pakutaan area in Jembrana, and more will be bought in Jembrana. What is clear is that we are currently preparing a number of documents for land acquisition. This information for Jembrana has to be cleared this year. Meanwhile, Tabanan Regional Secretary Igade Susila said that the authority for land acquisition lies with the Bali Provincial Government and the Central PUPR Ministry. The team already exists. Even the determination of the location of the areas to be passed through, but this is to be determined by the Bali Provincial Government. We only provide assistance. How much budget has been prepared? Ask the Central PUPR and the Provincial Government about this, he said. The same thing was also acknowledged by the head of the PUPR Office of Tabanan Regency, Igade Dody, who said that the continuation of the toll road project that crosses three regencies is the authority of the province of Bali. At the beginning, a special team was formed by the provincial government regarding land acquisition. A long time ago, it was from the National Land Agency, the PUPR National Road Center, and the Bali Provincial Government. We only accompany and conduct surveys in the field. Regarding the amount of the compensation, the assessment is carried out by the appraisal team appointed by PUPR Ministry and the Bali Provincial Government. In other words, the local authorities have very little to do with this. The toll road project will cross 49 villages and 7 sub-districts in the 3 regencies, with the area of land affected by the construction of the toll road in Jembrana 684.75 hectares, Tabanan 420 hectares, and Badung 9.18 hectares. How is this related to North Bali Airport? Because he said that this is going to go from the North Bali Airport up by Gilimanuk and down to Mengwi, so that people that fly into the North Bali Airport can get down to the south quickly. But there's a catch to that. Some new information on the North Bali Airport. PT BIBU ensures no reclamation. North Bali Airport will float in the sea. Oh, I love that. It's going to be a floating airport. Director of PT BIBU Panjisati Erwanto held a meeting with figures from the Puri Sejabag Bali and the former governor of Bali, Imade Mangku Pastika, at the Puri Agung Blabatu in Gianyar. This was a couple of days ago. This was done after President Prabowo Subianto ensured that the development of North Bali Airport would be a national priority. In the meeting moderated by the Penglingsir, Puri Buleleng Anakagung Nura, he ensured that the construction of the North Bali Airport would not damage nature, such as carrying out reclamation or evicting residents' land, because the airport will be built floating on the sea. Mangku Pastika said that the North Bali Airport was his dream since he was still serving as the Bali police chief. That was before he was governor. Because if all the centers are in the south, be it tourism centers, economic centers, and so on, he said this will bring big problems in the future for Bali. Congestion, population density, and so on will only be concentrated in the south, and he said this is certainly not good for some other areas. However, he said BIBU said that they already had the technology and explained it in detail, the technology to build a floating airport. Responding to the view that the Balinese people will remain as spectators, Mangku Pastika asked the Balinese people to prepare themselves so that this does not happen. I believe that Balinese people are smart and we are known to be honest. How can we not compete? I am sure we can if we remain silent and daydream. It is true that we will become spectators. Why am I still enthusiastic at my old age? Because I want to see that. Bali is not for tourism, but tourism is for the Balinese people. So we have to change our mindset. We don't want to be satisfied with just being a coolie. We don't want to be a coolie. We have to manage the coolies. We have to try. Learn to take all the potential that exists so that we don't become people who work lifting stones. I guess they'll get people from Jawa to do that. The general chairperson of Puri Sejabag Bali, Ida Dalam Samaraputra, said that when he heard about the North Bali Airport, his party immediately held discussions with Puri figures throughout Bali. This is to ensure that the airport construction does not affect existing sites in North Bali. If someone is affected, we will be sad because even if the physical form can be moved, its sacredness cannot necessarily be moved. That is what we propose because the palace is a fortress of Balinese culture. We heard the statement that President Prabowo will be very serious about building North Bali Airport. We are very grateful for that because our idea has also been accepted. We've heard that there is a proposal not to evict residents because there is airport technology above the sea without reclamation. We really welcome this. Director of BIBU Panji Sakti, Pak Irwanto, said this meeting was to thank President Prabowo for his support. He said, we will build a North Bali Airport. If there's a shortage of funds, I will add to the budget, he said. Funds are ready. Now, wait, let's listen to what's going to come on later here because this is another contradiction. Pak Iwan emphasized that the existence of the airport will reduce traffic jams currently occurring in Bali. That's a common claim. The results of our study, the airport will create 2,200 jobs. This will reduce traffic congestion and culture will be preserved because the people of North Bali who are now migrating to the south, they'll return. And of course, the culture of North Bali will be more stable because they return and they will maintain their culture. Regarding development, Pak Iwan targets that by 2027, one runway will be completed because in that year, I Gusti Ngurah Rai Airport is predicted to be stuck. In other words, too crowded, not going to be able to accommodate all of the tourists who will be flowing in here. Here's an interesting thing. The project is fully funded by the private sector through a business-to-business scheme without any funding support from the state or regional budgets. So what did I just say a minute ago? I said that the government, the central government, is willing to put in money. Now, according to this, the government is not going to be putting in money. This is purely a collaboration between private companies, so there's no obligation for us to report to the government, including the acting governor of Bali, according to the president director of BIBU, Pak Irwan. That's right, he doesn't know yet because this was sudden, because yesterday he was with the president in China. Suddenly the Chinese side invited us, so we did it all at once. So they're in China with the president and the Chinese construction company, I'm just trying to fill in everything here, said, hey, we want to fund the airport, the new airport in North Bali. And so bing, right away they came up with an MOU and didn't bother telling the acting governor of Bali because this is a private project. Now I'm just saying what he said. This is a private project, and so they don't need to report to the government about this. So I haven't had time to update the governor. I talked about this a couple of days ago, that the acting governor had no idea what was going on. He stressed that the airport project is a private sector initiative and does not use government funds. This is our airport that we planned. We are the initiators because the airport was proposed by the private sector and did not use any state money at all. The president has conveyed to all of us, and the public and the world already know that the president stated that North Bali Airport will be built. This is what makes them sure that this airport will be built, even though it hasn't been started yet. He explained that the cooperation with the Chinese company includes a contract as the main contractor and fund provider with a turnkey financing scheme. They are the contractors and financiers. We will also pay them money. It is in the form of debt. We will pay after the construction is completed. It's called turnkey. This is common in that kind of project. He said this collaboration allows the company to accelerate the construction process because it's predicted that the airport down south will be completely full by 2027. So the plan is to have one runway. There's going to be 2 runways apparently. One runway will be ready to go in 2027. He said it will be operational immediately. The president-director of BIBU said that the construction of North Bali Airport will be carried out above the sea in the Kubatambahan area, according to the initial concept. The initial concept has not changed. Our airport is at the sea, not the ones anywhere else, not the one in Sumber Kelompok, not the one on land. We are the initiators of the North Bali Airport in the Kubatambahan area at sea. Now, the other day, I mentioned that the acting governor said that the central government is going to decide where the airport is going to be. It could be in the west, over by Sumber Kelompok, or it could be over in the east by Kubatambahan. Now, according to this, it's going to be in Kubatambahan. Regarding the permit from the central government, Irwanto stated that there was a clear commitment. He said the project was delayed due to obstacles last year due to political issues. Yes, there is a commitment. This has a little political weight. Now it's finished. Everyone is welcoming. Everyone has the same thoughts. Irwanto said that his party is waiting for directions from President Prabowo to carry out the laying of the first stone or groundbreaking. And here is a story that is all over the internet today. Provincial government bans Jaruh dance performances. This regulation includes a ban on Joget Jaruh performances throughout Bali and removing all Joget Jaruh broadcasts from social media. What's this about? Based on a regulation of the Bali Cultural Council, dated October 21st, 2024, the Bali provincial government has officially issued firm steps to protect Balinese culture from the negative influence of Joget Bumbung Jaruh. The circular and the regulation regulate the rules of the performance costumes and prohibit the performance and broadcast of Joget Bumbung Jaruh on social media. So it's clear what is allowed and what is not, said the head of the Bali Cultural Service. Joget Bumbung is a popular social dance in Bali and is known as an entertainment art that has high social and aesthetic values, so it's very popular with both Balinese people and tourists visiting Bali. The dance is usually performed with simple clothing such as a songket or Prada cloth, kabaya, and glungan, and a shawl, and uses a fan as a prop. As a traditional art, the Joget Bumbung dance has a set of choreography and dance movements that radiate romantic beauty. However, in its development, many Joget dancers have innovated the set movements that give an indecent expression and exploit the body with sexual or pornographic actions. This is contrary to the rules of Balinese dance, which are based on the logic, ethics, and aesthetics of Hinduism, thus tarnishing the dignity of Balinese art. The Bali provincial government and the Bali Cultural Center consider Joget Bumbung Jaruh to violate Balinese cultural values. These actions, which are considered pornographic and provocative, damage the sanctity of the original Joget Bumbung and cause public unrest. The spread of Joget Jaruh videos on social media also worsens the eyes of Balinese culture in the eyes of the public. Joget Bumbung Jaruh are prohibited from appearing on stage, public events, or social media. Now it's time to clean up. Satpol PP may stop a Joget Jaruh performance on a legal basis, according to the former chancellor of ISI Denpasar. Furthermore, to implement this ban, the Bali Cultural Council, together with the Bali provincial government, will carry out coordinated control. This includes banning of the performances throughout the island and removing all broadcast of Joget Jaruh from social media. Later, there will be some kind of coaching, working together with traditional villages, Pecalang, reprimanding if there's a Joget Jaruh performance. We will also delete videos on social media. With this ban, Balinese people are expected to maintain the positive image of Joget Bumbung as a cultural heritage that has high social value and depicts the beauty and politeness of Balinese customs. This policy is expected to prevent negative influences that can damage the morals of society and the image of Bali as a cultural center, so that there is a massive movement together with us. If the government does it by itself, they cannot do it. So they're asking the public to get involved in stopping this pornographic dancing, pornographic innovation in the traditional dances. And one final segment on museums, and a museum right here in Buleleng. And so let's take a look at that. A closer look at the Buleleng Museum, a fun place to learn and visit history. I have not been at this museum in, 4 or 5 years. And well, the last time I was there, it's not the greatest museum in the world, but there's some interesting stuff. So let's take a look at what's going on there. As the largest region on the island of Bali, Buleleng Regency also has a myriad of objects related to history. Although not all are perfectly accommodated, these objects are neatly lined up in the Buleleng Museum. The museum is located at Jalan Veteran number 23. The Buleleng Museum is also in the same area as Gedong Kerja, a Lontar Library in Bali. Its opening hours follow working days, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Previously, this place was called Balai Mas in 1914 and 1925. The building is very unique because it has an antique architecture with a thatched roof with gold leaf carvings. Over time, the building was used as a Buleleng Museum, which was inaugurated in 2001 by the Minister of Culture and Tourism. This museum is also suitable as a tourist destination, especially for learning history. And there are things there that are cool, that are very, very old. Head of the History and Cultural Heritage Division of the Buleleng Regency Cultural Service, Nyoman Widarma, told the Jawa Post that the Buleleng Museum is one of 3 museums in North Bali, together with the Gedong Kerja and the Lesser Sunda Museum, which is right down the street here at the harbor. The Buleleng Museum has been registered in the data of the Museum Association and the Ministry of Education and Culture, Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. The collections in the Buleleng Museum range from prehistoric objects, royal collections, to independence collections. For prehistoric objects, it's known that they consist of prehistoric tools used from ancient times to the present, totaling 29 items, such as a wooden gandek, sokasi, and even earthen kettles. There are also objects from the Paleolithic era, or hunting area, totaling 34 objects, such as a chopping axe, shards of Kemendu pottery, bronze bracelets, and iron tongs. Not only that, there are still many other prehistoric collections, such as objects found at the Kalibukbuk site, such as Buddhist stupas, seals, clay tablets, bricks, and elephant jewelry. These objects are estimated to be from the 8th to 9th century. There are also objects from the 10th to 14th century, such as currency, gold-flaked, pottery, metal fragments, totaling 14 objects. There's also sarcophagi found at Salat village, and that dates to around 1000 AD. Not only that collection in Buleleng Museum, but there are also objects related to the era of the Buleleng Kingdom, such as paintings of the King of Buleleng to paintings of puppets. The latest collection from the Buleleng Museum is the official clothing and vehicles of the governor of Lesser Sunda province, belonging to Mr. E. Kusti Ketut Puja. The car, there's a car there with a license plate B28454, belonged to him, and it was parked in the front yard of the museum, where a special building was built for it. It's known that the car was used by him when he was on duty as the head of the audit board. The family of Pak Igusti Katupuja donated the vehicle in 2001. In addition to the car, there's 3 sets of his clothes displayed in the center of the museum. In the management of the museum, there are several objects faced, namely human resources and budget. This also requires caution in maintaining the building and its collections, because the Buleleng Museum only has 3 officers, while for the head of the museum, curator, and organizational structure, do not yet exist. Management is still integrated with the history field in the Buleleng Cultural Service. Of course, another hope is that many people will want to visit and learn at the Buleleng Museum. So if you are here in Buleleng, well worth a drop by just to take a look and see what's there. And if you're at the harbor, stop by the museum there. It's a very small place, but it's well worth 10-15 minutes to walk through and take a look at things and have a conversation. And there's a book there with a little bit of history. So 3 museums up here in North Bali, right here in Singaraja. That is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time